Hello everyone and welcome back. I hope you're doing good and taking good care of yourself. Well, I'm back with another session wherein I'm going to talk about 5 exercises which is going to help you in thinking in English, or it will help you to stop translating and start thinking in English. Right? So these are very effective and efficient exercises which is really going to help you a lot to start thinking in English. Once we start thinking in English, it will be much easier for us to speak in English as well. So we have to train our brain to start thinking in English first. How do we do that? Here we go. For that, welcome to Discover and Learn. I am your communications coach and a soft skill trainer by profession, and I'm here to help you out with all your communications problems and to help you speak English fluently and confidently. Well, this is a platform which will help you in your English speaking journey, and here we make sure that you learn to speak English quickly, easily and effortlessly. Yes, this is the major goal which we have, and that is why we prefer having practice sessions, more of practice sessions, wherein you'll find a lot of conversation sessions, a lot of speak with me sessions, a lot of English speaking practice sessions, so that you get hands-on experience on how to speak on a particular topic or how to speak on a particular event in English. And these topics are very basic day-to-day topics which are used in our conversation. So once you start practicing in this way, it will be much easier for you to speak on these topics with anyone, anywhere, anytime. Take it from me. So guys, if you haven't subscribed my channel, quickly subscribe my channel, guys. Like and share my videos. Do write your comments in the comment section. And don't forget to press the notification icon so that you get all my videos on time, free of cost. So today I'm going to talk about 5 exercises which is going to help you to start thinking in English, which will ultimately help you to speak in English as well. The first is very simple and I'm going to start with that. The first exercise is, whatever your mother tongue is, or whatever serial or whatever series or whatever thing you would like to watch in your mother tongue, go ahead and watch it. That is fine. But what you have to do here is, after watching that particular information or thing or whatever you are watching, whether it is for entertainment or any other, for gaining information, whatever your purpose is, once that is done, try to translate the whole thing in English in your own words, whatever you have heard in your mother tongue, right? So I'm speaking the opposite, but I know it works a lot, guys. Try doing this and you will see the difference. So what you can do is, if you're watching a movie in your mother tongue, in Hindi or your mother tongue, whatever, after watching the movie, start translating it in English. Start thinking about that movie in English. Like, what was the story? How was the acting? How was the direction? How were the songs? Right? What was the plot? The actors, the role played by different people, whom do you like? What were the dialogues? Right? So there are lots of things you can discuss about that movie in English. So start asking questions and start answering those questions in English about the movie. Right, as I said, what was the plot? How was the movie? Who were the lead actors or who were the actors in the movie? What was the story? How was the acting? Right, music, songs, dialogues, lots of things you can talk about. So here, if you're listening something in your mother tongue also, if you want to watch something in your mother tongue also, go ahead and do it. That's not a problem. But then make sure when you watch that thing, after that you start translating in English in your own words. Now, how this will help? Now, when you have watched something in your mother tongue and you have started translating it in English, right? So your brain will start translating it in English for you. You have to start thinking in English about that, right? So it will be the opposite. Your brain will have to think in English about that, right? How to translate it in English. So this will help you to translate in English, right? Your brain will start thinking in English about that movie, about what to say or what to recall. Your brain will start processing that information that you have to start thinking in English. So if you get in practice of translating everything in English in your own words, your brain will start processing that information, and whenever you will hear something, your brain will automatically translate it or process that information so that you can start thinking about it in English. Okay, so you have to be in practice. It will not be like immediately your brain will start processing that information and will help you start thinking in English. It will not happen overnight, guys. You have to make it a habit. As I said, whatever you're watching in your mother tongue, at the end of it, start translating it in English. This will help your brain to start processing that information that yes, this is also a language which you have to retain, right? Or you have to process. Okay, so your brain will also get familiar to the language and retaining the language and processing the language. So once you get into the habit of speaking in English about any particular event or experience or anything which you have watched, it will be much easier for you to start thinking in English about anything then. So start with this. Okay, this is very easy. Second exercise is, it's also the same, it's on the same lines. Whatever piece of information you have watched, whatever you are doing, whatever action you are doing, whatever activity you are doing, you just start speaking about in English. Now, this is something which I want you to develop into a habit. The first exercise also you can develop into a habit. Whatever you are watching, everybody has some favorites, right? We do watch something or the other in our mother tongue. Make it a habit. After watching that, you start summarizing it in English, whatever you have watched. That is one thing. Second is, whatever action, whatever activity you are doing, like you are walking in a park or in your society, or you are eating food, or you are cooking something, or you're doing an exercise, or you're reading something, or you're watching a movie, or whatever you're doing, you're eating popcorn. Whatever you are doing, you're eating outside, you're meeting your friends, you had a chat with somebody, right? So whatever action, activity you did, just take out 5 minutes to speak about it. What did you do, right? What did you chat with that person? You met your friends, what did you do there? What did you eat at the restaurant? What did you cook in your kitchen? What are you eating for your lunch? While walking, what did you see, right? While going to office or school, what did you see? While going to college, what did you see? What happened in the college? What happened in the office? Right? You met your neighbor, what did you speak to him? You said hi and hello, how are you? That's it. That's fine. You can just talk about it, right? So whatever activity or thing you're doing, just start describing it in English. If you start doing this, your brain will start processing this information that yes, this is a language which needs to be recognized, which needs to be recalled, or which needs to be processed or grasped, so that it will be easier day by day. It will be easier for you to start remembering the words, start remembering the sentences, start remembering the occasions, start remembering the topics on which you are speaking in English. Start remembering the language as a whole, and it will be much easier for you to speak in English. Guys, I'm talking about science. It's all scientific. You start getting into the practice of doing all these things, it will be very easy for you to speak in English. Take it from me, because your brain will help you then. It will start processing the information easily. Yeah, so this is the second exercise. Third exercise is start watching stuffs in English. Immerse yourself in English. Whenever you get time, start reading or start watching or start listening. Whatever you can do. I have just clubbed everything in this. You have to immerse yourself in English. You have to create an English environment around you. For your brain to process the information, to understand the language and retain the information. The words, the sentences, the topics, right? The knowledge basically about that topic, so that it will be easier for you to speak on it. So immerse yourself in English. Take some time out to read. Take some time out to read something interesting, good, informative. Okay, maybe a newspaper, maybe an article, maybe a novel, maybe a story, maybe a autobiography, or anything, whatever you like. So take out time to read something. Take out time to watch things on different topics like TEDx talks or podcast on different topics. Podcasts are very interesting. There are lots of podcasts which is available in English. Indian people also do a lot of podcasts in English, right? So podcasts, TED Talks, these are things, BBC Learning, these are some resources which will help you to increase your knowledge, improve your understanding of the language, improve your understanding of the topic, and gain knowledge on that topic so that it will be easier for you to speak on it. While reading, it will be easier for you to, when you start reading out loud, it will be easier for you to speak that language, speak the words, pronunciation, getting used to with the tone, rhythm, intonation, and it will help you in the fluency, right? So it is a package, guys. So start practicing, start immersing yourself in English, and start talking about it in English. Whenever you have heard something, you read something, speak about it, right? Speak about it. It will definitely help you to start thinking in English. Okay, fourth one is take up a topic every day and speak for 5 minutes. Any topic you can pick up, right? Your daily routine, your plan for the next day, you're preparing for your birthday or your friend's birthday, or you went to a wedding, or you went for an event. Whatever you did, pick up any topic, any simple topic, any conversation, pick up and start speaking on it. If you had a conversation with your friend, if you had a conversation with a vegetable vendor, if you had a conversation with a shopkeeper, if you had a conversation with your professor, whatever, your manager, you can take that conversation as reference. You can become person 1 and person 2, and you can start having a conversation, right? So take up these real life examples or topics or conversations and start role playing, start speaking. Okay, so you can start role playing, you can start speaking on it. Take up real life conversations and start speaking on it. This is really going to help you. You can start reviewing anything, you can start giving feedbacks about anything, right? So you can do a lot of things. It's not difficult to think. You went to a place, you can start giving reviews about that place. You had some food, you can give review about that food, right? You watched a movie, you watched a play, whatever, you can just start giving reviews, feedbacks. You can talk about your experience, you can talk about that event, right? You can start role playing your conversation with somebody. Okay, so you can do n number of stuffs. You can pick from your whole day. Whatever you did the whole day, you can pick up something from the whole day and you can start speaking about it. Trust me on this, something or the other you do every day which you can talk about. Okay, so start speaking in this way. Your brain will also start thinking in English, and it will help you to process the language. It will help you to retain the language and the understanding. And next time when you have to speak in English, your brain will help you to recall everything, right? So this is another thing you can do. The fifth one and the last one is you can start describing something. Maybe the best thing is if you saw a picture, a photograph, or an image of something, or if you're standing in your balcony and you're seeing around what is happening, you just start describing that. If you are in a college or if you are in your classroom, what is happening around your classroom, what all things are there, what are the discussions going on, what people are doing, you can just take up these questions and start describing it. What is happening in your office during lunchtime, what everyone is doing, during tea breaks, what they do, right? If you go to the cafeteria, what is happening in the cafeteria? Just take 2 minutes or 5 minutes to describe that place. If you can't do it there, you come home and just think about it. Before going to bed, take out 5 minutes. You can lie down on the bed and just think about what was happening in the cafeteria. Think about this scene and start describing that. If you went to a shopping mall, start describing that store or that restaurant or that food court where you went, or you went to a shop, what happened in that shop. So whatever scene, a scenario you think about, you start describing that scene. It can be anything, standing in your balcony and looking around, right? Going outside, if you went to buy something, if you went to eat something, if you went to do something outside, what was happening there? Just take a scenario and start speaking about it. If you don't have anything, you can see a lot of pictures, right? Take up a picture and start describing that picture or photograph, right? So if you start doing all these activities or exercises, guys, this is really going to help your brain in thinking in English. It will stop translating it for you. It will immediately help you to start thinking in English, because by all these practices it is getting familiar with the language, and it will be easier for your brain to process the language. And once it gets easier for the brain to process the language and understand the language and retain the language and grasp the language, it will be very easy for you to speak. And then your brain will be able to recall the words, sentences, and everything else, so that it will be easier for you to speak. Take it from me, start practicing these exercises and let me know in the comment section if it has helped you. But for that, you have to be a little patient. You have to continue this for a month at least to see the difference or to see the results. Okay, I'm sure it's really going to help you. So guys, that's a wrap for today. I'm going to see you in my next session. Until then, keep watching, keep practicing, keep speaking, keep learning, and keep exploring. See you. Bye-bye.